Hi there, my name is Josh Philander, student number 222-09974, and this is my bio-ecological model based off Bronfenbrenner's theory, and we'll be starting off in the center right here and working our way out. So starting in the center, we have Josh Philander, the individual, that is me, date of birth, the 5th of July, 1993. Now the reason why I included that birth date is just because I felt, since I am a bit older than the majority of students that are doing this assignment, I felt it will be more suitable to include it, just because my upbringing would have been slightly different to theirs. And if we start over here, we're going to start with the microsystems. The very first one here that I have listed is the schools that I attended. So I attended Addington Primary School. That was my primary school from grade 1 to grade 7. We then move on to George Campbell School of Technology, where I attended from grade 8 to grade 12. We move on to DUT, where I studied for 1 year, and then eventually Stadio, where I am now. On this side, we have the next microsystem, which is family. And my family consists of my parents, my brother, and my grandparents, who I all grew up with. And of course, I had to mention my wife as well, because she also contributed towards my development, especially later on in my adult years. At the bottom, we have peers, school friends, work colleagues, and campus friends. Each group of friends all had some sorts of impact towards my development. For example, school friends allowed me to realize that there are definite issues that other people deal with that I don't necessarily deal with, and that also just made me aware of what's going on more in the world, and also made me feel very grateful for what I had. Regarding the mesosystems are the interactions between the microsystems. So an example would be school and family. And as previously mentioned in the previous parts of this assignment, I had family that stayed with us at some point that I can remember it was not a very great experience, as there was a lot of conflict within the household, and that made me look forward to go to school. So that's definitely a cause and effect reaction within the mesosystem. Moving out, we have the exosystem, and what I have listed here is that I was raised and confirmed in the Roman Catholic Church. That is a part of me that still to this day form the foundation of my beliefs, values, and morals. I had friendly and respectable neighbors, that's listed over here. Also made life very easy. Over here I've listed father's work and mother's work. So my father was a musician who worked away from home. He tended to work more in the evenings and was free during the day, whereas my mother, who worked in the bank, she worked more during the day and she would be free in the evening. So there was always a bit of balance there. But my father's absence, not being available, not being around with me growing up, also pushed me to develop some skills and traits that I would have developed earlier than most, and that just also gave me a sense of responsibility as well. I mentioned here that family members temporarily lived with us due to financial struggles, and that was a part of the ecosystem, and that definitely had an impact on my microsystems. I grew up with older cousins as role models, and that also just made me more mature, a bit more quicker than my peers. On the outside, on the screen ring over here, we have the macrosystem. The macrosystem are social cultural factors that can also play a part in the individual's development. And on the top, I've written here, the ANC government was in power since 1994, which was a year after I was born. So that just comes back to me labeling my birth date there when the ANC became the national party that was in power. It was obviously a new time for South Africa. I was one of the very young few that got to attend schools straight after that in multiracial classrooms, and that was a new experience, as nobody in my previous family's generations ever got to experience that. So that's what I'm labeled here. Classes were multicultural and multiracial, and a new experience at the time. The economy was much stronger during my childhood than it is today. it's much more harder to get things, the things that you want today, I would say, as it was back in the day. Things were way more affordable, and that obviously definitely played a part, as back then it would have been easier to achieve things. Nelson Mandela was a president for most of my childhood. That's another point that I would say goes to hand in hand with the ANC government being in power. High school focused less on individuality, and that's a very important one, because once I reached high school, my individuality definitely got affected, as I felt way more involved and a part of something when I was in primary school. And as soon as I got to high school, that kind of fell away, and that also had a huge impact on my development. When I was in primary school, I was always very focused, very driven, always wanted to succeed. And as soon as I got to high school, the motivation to do that kind of fell away, slipped away, and I kind of lost my way along that journey. I went to a public primary school and a semi-private high school, so obviously the changing classes as well, getting to experience different classes of people also had an impact on me as well. And then finally we have the Corona system, and I've written here, developmental timeframes have allowed the system to develop a man that has purposeful values, good morals, and a strong work ethic to achieve his goals. That's who I believe I am today, and that's what I believe time has led up to. All these traits, all these points, and all these people, and all these factors have worked together to shape the person that I am today. And thanks to the Corona system and time, I was able to come to the realization that high school was not my life. It was not the end of the road. Obviously in high school I wasn't as focused as I am now. I went through a patch where I felt that things would not get better, and it surely has as time has gone on. And thanks to the strong foundation that I did have, I was fortunate to bring myself together and push forward to become an educator, something that I've always wanted to do, and finally achieve my dream. So pretty much that is my diagram. I hope you have enjoyed the video, and thank you.